Hi, welcome to Peace Donkeys. Today I'm going to show you how to make an adjustable dog collar, and the pattern that I'm going to show you is this one here. This pattern here is called the Modified Sanctified Square. So these have got little squares all along, and that's using microcord, and the rest of it's using 550 paracord. So you can see there's quite a nice pattern. And the good thing about these is they're adjustable. So you've got your buckle on the end, and pretty much with these squares you can put, you can adjust them to just about anywhere along the collar that you'd like it to be. Now, to make these collars, you're also going to need something to secure it to, so some kind of jig. You can use a piece of wood with nails on each end that you can tie them off onto. What I've got here is just one of these clamps, one of these adjustable clamps that can slide up and down to various sizes depending on what size collar you want to make. And all we've done here is just put a couple of screws in one end and a screw on the other end, and that way you can just have it whatever size you want to have it. But if you don't have one of these clamps and you've just got a piece of wood, that'll do just as well. Okay, so first off you want to secure your paracord onto your buckle. So you just go through, back out the other side and wrap it round the buckle. That's one part of securing it. The next part is you want to take the right hand strand of your cord, and you want to go back up through your buckle and then back down through that loop and pull all that cord through. That's just giving it a bit more security on there, a bit more stability. Same with this side. So you take this strand, go back up to the left hand side of your cord, and we're going to bring it back down through that loop there, and just pull all of that cord through. Okay, and just tighten those up. Then what you want to do is you want to take your buckle and you want to put it onto your jig, whatever you've got, if you've got a piece of wood or whatever you happen to have. And you want to go along to whatever length you want your collar to be. So I'm just going to measure my 20 inches, and at that point there I'm going to mark it with some chalk just to make it easier for when I start, so I can see where I need to be. Okay, so what we do now is, at that point, we're going to fold over our cords. And the right hand cord's going to go over the centre, just above that chalk mark. Left hand side is going to come over that, and it's going to go up the back and out through that loop there. Okay, and then we can slide it down to where that mark is, or wherever you want it to be, if you want to be a bit longer. Then we're going to take the left hand strand and we're going to go back over the centre. Right hand strand is going to come over that, and it's going to come out the left hand loop. Oops. The cords happen to got caught. Paracord seems to be able to manage to get caught over anything and everything. Okay, so we just tighten that up a little bit, but now we're going to actually pull out these loops just enough so that we can put our contrast cord through there. Okay, and then we'll pull that down. So you get your contrast cord and you go up through that loop and out through the other loop, and you just keep pulling that through until you get to the halfway mark. Once you're at the halfway mark, you can tighten up these loops onto that contrast cord and tighten up your work. Oops. Then what I like to do is I just get a piece of cut-off cord and I'm just going to wrap that around the centre strands. And I'm actually going to tie that onto my nail here. I'm actually going to just put a bit of tension on this so that then I can tighten that up. Wrap it around a couple of times, and you can take this off once you've finished doing your collar. Okay, and again I'm just going to put a bit more tension on that. Okay, so this is how we're starting this particular sanctified modified square, and we'll add in the micro cord in a minute. So the main pattern that we're going to be doing is the right hand side of your cord is going to come up through the centre and out the other side, and then your left hand piece of that same colour is going to come up through the centre below that and out to the right hand side. Okay, so now your contrast cord, it's going to come underneath up through the centre, and it's going to go out through this brown loop here on the same side that it came from. Okay, so we pull that all through. Now the left hand side comes up through the centre, and it's going to go back out the same side, but it's going to go out through the brown loop. Okay, we're just going to pull all of that cord through. Now this is where I'm going to add in the micro cord. So I'm going to start with black, and at the centre point of your black cord, it's going to go over those two centre strands. Okay, so over these two brown strands, down, and we're just going to pull all of that cord through there, so essentially we've got a cow hitch on there. Okay, that's just to get us started with that colour. So we tighten up the rest of the work. Okay, pull that tight. Okay, so we just pull that out of the way for now. We're going to go back to the main pattern. So right cord through the centre and out to the left. Left cord through the centre underneath that cord and out to the right. Then your contrast cord comes up through the centre and out to the left, out the same side, out to the right. And then your left hand contrast comes up through the centre and back out the same side. Now your black micro cord, I'll just tighten this up a little bit, it's going to come down over there. You're going to bring it back under here, and it's going to come out either side of those two centre strands. I'll just see if I can make that a bit clearer. Okay, so the right side strand is going to go back up behind those centre strands and out to the right side. As usual, it's stuck on whatever it can get stuck on. Okay, so that's the centre right strand goes out to the right. The left strand is going to come down and out the left side of the two black centre strands. Okay, so now what we do is we tighten up all of this work. Okay, the contrast, all the black. Oops, that's just caught there. So just make sure we bring that through. Tighten up everything. Okay, now the pattern for this will always be that your microcord will go over two lots of work. So it went over that one and this one. So now we're going to bring the black cord back underneath, out of the way, because we're not going to be working with that next. We're going to be adding the next colour. So I'm just going to put that out of the way for now. Then we go back to our main pattern. Okay, so the brown cord comes through the centre and out the other side. The other strand comes under that, through the centre and out the other side. Okay, contrast colour comes up through the centre, out that loop on the same side. The other contrast colour comes up through the centre, out the same side again through the loop. Okay, so now we're going to join our other microcord colour. So in this case I'm using goldenrod, so I'm going to put it over those two centre strands, you can see there, and then this is just going to go through there, pull it through, which gives us a cow hitch. Okay, and then we're going to tighten up all of this work, tighten up that. Okay, so this is just to join it. Once we've joined it, you'll see how the pattern goes. Okay, so I'm just going to put that yellow microcord out of the way there for a minute, and we'll get back to our main pattern. Okay, so the chocolate comes up through the centre, out the other side. Other cord comes up through the centre, out the other side. The contrast colour comes up through the centre, out the other side. Contrast colour comes up through the centre, out the same side. Okay, so now we're going to bring this over. So now this yellow microcord is going to come over the top of these centre strands. Actually, the best way to show you probably is to, so this right strand is going to come underneath and back up through the centre on the right side of that strand. Okay, and then the left strand is going to go down and come back out through the left side. Okay, so there you your centre strands now. So we tighten up everything. So now we've gone over the second lot. So we joined it on one strand, and we've come over the second lot, and we always do two lots. So now that we've gone over the two lots and we've finished joining all the cords up now, this yellow cord's going to go down the back and out of the way. Oops. And then we're going to bring back the black micro cords. Okay, so they're going to come back up through the centre here. I'll just put them out of the way for a minute while we do the rest of our pattern. I'm just going to tie that yellow onto that screw there just to get it out of the way. Okay, so the brown cord comes up through the centre and out the left. The other brown comes up through the centre and out the right. The contrast cord is coming underneath everything up through the centre, out the same side. And then your left contrast is coming up through the centre, back out the left side. Okay, so now we're dealing with the black micro cord. Just make sure we've got it straight. The other side, yep. So it's going to come down. Left hand strand will come out the left hand side. The right hand strand will come out the right hand side. Okay, so you can see how that needs to look. So we tighten up the main work and we tighten up the centre strands. Okay, back to the pattern. Right side through the centre, left side up through the centre and out the other side. Contrast colour up through the centre, back out the same side through that loop. Contrast colour on the left side comes up through the centre, back out the left side. Now, so when we use, when we come to put the black micro cord around the next lot of centre strands, because these cords are on the outside, okay, we've got two black in the centre, but these two that we're working with are on the outside. When they come down and they come back up, they're going to come up the centre. Okay. So then we tighten up everything. We tighten up those centre. And you can see now, oops, just twist those out. That's your square. All right, so then these black cords are going to go back down through the centre and out of the way. And we're going to bring back the yellow cords, the golden cords. Okay, and they're going to come through, sorry, they're going to come through either side of the black. And the black's just going to stay out there while we work with the yellow. Okay, so we just move the yellow over to one side for a minute while we do our main pattern. Oh, looks like I've got a bit of a knot there. Just undo that. Okay, so back to the main pattern, which is brown through the centre, out the other side, brown through the centre, out the other side. Contrast colour up and out the same side. Contrast colour up and out the same side. Okay, now because these gold strands are on the outside, okay, there's a gap in the middle, so when we pull them through, the strands are going to come up through the gap in the middle. Okay. So if they're on the outside when you start, you bring them to the centre, and if they're in the centre when you start, you bring them to the outside. That's how that pattern will always go. Okay. Okay, so now they're in the centre. When we do the next lot, they'll go to the outside. So I'll just show you that. Back to the main pattern, brown through, other brown through, contrast through, other contrast through, this is where we bring our yellow because it's right in the centre now. When it comes up out the other side, it'll come to the outside. So the right strand will come up to the right side, and the left strand will come up through the left side. Tighten all your work up a couple of times as you go. Okay, so that's another square. So that's our black square, gold square. Then we're going to bring back the black up through the centre and out. And then we're going to take the micro yellow back down the back and out of the way because we're not working with that anymore. Okay, and I'm just going to tie it up onto this nail just to get it out of my way while I work with the black. Oops, sorry. Okay, back to the main pattern, brown through the centre, other brown through the centre. Contrast colour up through the centre, out the same side. Other contrast up through the centre, out the same side. Okay, so now your black, because it's right in the centre, when it comes back up the other side, it's going to come to the outside. So the right strand will come up to the right side of centre. The left strand will come up left of centre. Tighten everything up. Okay, so that's one. So we've got the black done on one. We've got to do the black on one more lot. So it always goes over two strands. Okay, so our black is going to come over these centre strands. Because there's a gap there, that means there's room for the centre strands to come up through the gap. And then of course we tighten everything up. Okay, so we're going to bring back the micro yellow, micro gold, and the black is going to go back out the back, out of the way. Oops. Okay, just make sure it's all tight. Back to the main colour, brown through the centre, other brown through the centre, contrast up through the centre, out through the brown loop, contrast up through the centre, back out the same side. Okay, now because our golden cord has got a gap in the middle, that means that when it comes back up, it'll come through the middle. Tighten everything up. Tighten those strands. Okay, so now because the gold strands are close together, when they come up the other side, the right strand will come up the right side and the left strand will come up the left side. Okay, once that's done, we'll bring the black back through and take the yellow and put it back out of the way underneath. Okay, so you can see those squares starting to happen. And then you just repeat the pattern over and over and over until we get down to where you want to put your D-ring on for your dog collar to clip off onto. And when we get there, I'll show you how to put that on. Okay, so I'm ready to put the D-ring on. So I'm just going to sit that there. The right hand side is going to come through the centre, as has been the pattern all along. Then the left hand strand is going to come underneath that through the centre and out the other side. Then the contrast colour comes down through the centre, out that brown loop. Left hand contrast comes up through the centre. You're going to go through your D-ring and out the brown loop. And then your micro cord is going to come over the top, just the same as it would as if the D-ring wasn't there. It's going to come down, up through the centre, and then we're just going to pull everything tight. Okay, just keep pulling all those strands as tight as you can. And that's your D-ring secured in place now. So we're ready to bring the gold colours back out. And the black strands are going back out of the way. Okay. And then back onto the pattern. Okay, so we're onto the yellow now, because there's a gap in the middle. The yellow is going to come up through that gap in the middle. And we're just going to keep going along with the pattern until we come almost to the end, and then we'll finish off there. And there's a few different ways you can finish them off. So with this one here, I used the chocolate underneath and did a cobra weave, and then I did a cobra weave with the honeycomb on top and just melted the black and the gold underneath there, and then melted the ending part on the sides. With this one, I just melted the purple microcord where it ended there, and then I did just one cobra weave with the main purple and melted the silver where it ended as well. With this one, I did a cobra weave with the orange underneath, the black on the top, and then I folded the microcord over one strand under the other strand and then just melted it there at the end. So it's really personal preference. You also can get a fid and weave it throughout the rest of the cord if you wanted to, but yeah, there's a multitude of ways that you can end them. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.